Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Leilani, also known as Lay, and today I'm here to have a discussion about Lady Bird. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have my thoughts in order right now. I just watched it with my best friend and it's on Amazon Prime right now if you want to watch it. I'm gonna let you know at most I gave this movie a 2-star. It came out a few years ago with a lot of like critically acclaimed, buzzing reviews, 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. Everybody either loved it or didn't like it. So I was hoping that this movie was gonna be good. That was just my hope. My hope is now gone, obviously. I've never been so confused and disappointed in a movie in a while, especially one that I was so excited to watch. I have some notes on my paper that I took, but I'm probably gonna get into mild spoilers. So the premise of it is how I picture it, or how I viewed the movie. It's different how than Rotten Tomatoes said it was about, because basically it talks about the mom being a nurse and how she has to take extra shifts because the father lost his job, and she has a daughter she's looking after who is just like her, and it said like loving something something, basically all lies. Yes, some of this stuff is true, but if that's the premise, it really didn't acknowledge the fact that the father lost his job. It mentioned it 2 times, like 2 scenes. Like she tells the daughter, oh, he lost his job, and basically like, stop being ungrateful. You have to look good. You don't want to look raggedy because then your father can't get a job. And then there's like a small interview where the father goes into with some dick interviewer who shouldn't be interviewing him because if we're gonna be real, I think he could sue during that interview because it was shitty. Like how the interviewer acted, cussing and being unprofessional. But that's not what the movie's really about. So through my eyes, this movie is a coming of age story of a senior in a Catholic high school who is ready to spread her wings and get away from all the bullshit, and this includes her mother. So she is applying to various colleges that are out of state, but her mother expects her to be close to home. So this is located in Sacramento, California. So what we're gonna call her Lady Bird because that's how she introduces herself. I don't remember her name that her mom gave her, so we're gonna say Lady Bird. The opening scene is when I was like, this movie is gonna be amazing, but then it immediately goes downhill from there. So the opening scene, it's Lady Bird and her mom listening to an audiobook while driving, and they're like bonding and crying over whatever audiobook they just finished. And then immediately after the audiobook finishes, they start talking and then bickering and then arguing to the point where Lady Bird gets so fed up with her mother's bullshit, she jumps out the freaking car while she's driving. It's not like the car stopped at a stoplight and she just gets out. It's no, her mother is driving, yelling at her. She opens the fucking door and then she jumps out, and I'm like, are you serious? This is it. This is it. This is gonna be great. Disappointment throughout this movie follows straight through. There is no character development. Everyone's like a flat character. Out of the whole cast, not the cast, I'm gonna just say the character list, I only liked one person, and that is the father, because he was the only one who was supportive and unproblematic. The only problem he had was the fact that he got laid off and he can't get another job for some reason because he's interviewing with shitty interviewers. We'll start off with the mother. The mother, I do not like her. Or I did not. I don't understand. She was bratty and disrespectful. Basically, every time her and her daughter interacted, they would get into an argument. She would give backhanded compliments and be passive aggressive. There's this one scene where Lady Bird is shopping for a prom dress with her mother, and she's changing in the dressing room. She finds this pink dress that she likes, and she's like, oh, I really like this. And then her mother says something. I should have wrote down what she said. Basically, she was like, no, like, it's ugly, like, change that shit, right? I think she was like, you don't think it's too pink? After her daughter just said, this is it, this is the one I like. And then her daughter gets upset, which is reasonable, like, disrespected, just to walk away. So she goes back into the dressing room and she asks her mother, do you even like me? And then her mother, this is a yes or no question, by the way, do you even like me? Her mother was like, she didn't answer it. She didn't answer that question. She was like, I love you. But then she was like, no, but do you like me? Because there's two different things. Like, as a family member, like, you most likely gonna have love for your relatives, but that doesn't necessarily mean you gotta like them, right? So she says, no, Mom, do you like me? And her mom doesn't fucking answer the question. Right there. No. This is in the middle of the movie, by the way. And then it just goes downhill. Every problem that they have, every argument that they have makes no sense to me. Because it's about pointless shit. And it's about, basically, the mother finds out that her daughter is applying to out-of-state colleges, and she gets so upset, she stops talking to her for months. Are you serious? She didn't even say happy birthday to her daughter. Are you serious? You're that petty to the fact, like, your daughter is not even accepted to any of these colleges. She's waitlisted, and you immediately just ignore her and stop talking to her after she apologized and basically kissed your ass. No, fucking silence. So Lady Bird, who is not even a good character at all anyway, she's finding herself. It makes sense. You're growing up, you're a senior in high school, you're dealing with your family bullshit, and then now you're gonna deal with some other bullshit at school. So basically, in order for her to feel like she could be capable of going to another school, she does extracurricular activities. She joins theater and she falls in love with this boy. Things happen and the boy ends up cheating on her. And Lady Bird and the best friend find him cheating on her, and they're like, wow, like, you wouldn't even believe it, right? But so soon after that, Lady Bird decides she's gonna crush on a popular kid, and this means basically ditching her best friend and hanging out with other people and basically trying to act cool and change her ways and stuff, right? While this is happening, the best friend is still talking with the dude who just cheated on her. Like, that's a no-go area. Like, as a best friend, you should already know not to talk to an ex. Especially if you caught them cheating on your... It's a mess. But basically, they stopped being friends for a while. And I'm like, okay. So she starts dating... We're not going to say dating. She hooks up with a popular person. I'm going to just put pictures for everybody. So she starts hanging out with this popular boy. Bam. Timothy, I can't. Timothy Chalamet, I can't even. Timothy, I'm going to call him that from now on. His character was so obnoxious and irritating. And I didn't like him at all. Like, he was a pointless character to me. Like, I understand, but also I understand how irritated I was with him. But basically, he's a dick. There's no point of discussing him, so we're gonna move forward. So she goes with him. It doesn't work out, right? She ends up being able to go to a college out of state. And when that happens, she's still not talking with her mom, and her dad are like getting everything ready. When it comes time to drop her off at the airport, she's like, Mom, are you not gonna like walk me to the freaking airport, like, or like inside the airport, to the guards or whatever, because like I'm moving out of state. And the mom's like, no, basically. And she drives off, leaving her daughter and the dad. She drives off, and then she starts crying, and then she turns back around, and then she misses her daughter, right? But she doesn't like call or send a letter or even like goes to visit the daughter. But the dad secretly sneaks letters that the mom was trying to write inside of Lady Bird's suitcase. But you don't even get the time to read those letters. And there's no voiceover to tell you like how you're supposed to feel. Because right now, at this point, I'm done with the mother. Like, bye. Like, your daughter's been apologizing for no reason. Like, you should be proud enough that your daughter was able to get into a different college out of state. And then things happen with Lady Bird, who decides at this point she's no longer Lady Bird, and she's going to start going by her name, which I don't remember. And she does something stupid, and then it ends up in church, and then she calls her mom basically, I don't know, nostalgia, feeling some type of way, and apologizes. And I guess it's supposed to be like happy-go-lucky, and then it ends. But if we're gonna be real, no problems were solved. And like, no problems were solved. Like, the mother didn't even apologize for being an asshole, not talking to you for months. The dad still, to my knowledge, by the end of the movie, he still doesn't have a job. And then there was this like whole thing with one of the preachers at the school, who was the theater person, and then like he stopped going, and then he was at the doctor's office, and he was like, don't tell your daughter, but I never re-mentioned it again. I just don't understand. Maybe I'm just confused, but I don't understand why this has a 90-something on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, some parts were funny. I could give you that. Because there's some parts where, like, Lady Bird is super blunt, and it catches you off guard, and it makes you laugh. I can say that. There's some scenes where it's like, this is a nice, sweet scene. And I could say it mostly happens with her best friends. But yeah, I don't even know my thoughts. But all in all, this is a 2-star movie, and I'm kind of happy I didn't pay for it. But you could try to convince me otherwise. I'm glad to have a discussion, like, down in the comments if you want to send a comment, because maybe I just need help understanding why it's so great, because to me this was a shitty coming of age story. If I was gonna watch a coming of age story that's supposed to make me feel some type of way, I'm watching Perks of Being a Wallflower. So yeah, like and subscribe if you want to. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but feel free to like and subscribe. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.